this special session of the Momar Town Council to order. Date is December 12th, 2025. The purpose of the meeting is to meet with Jonathan Griswold, who has been working a little bit on a town seal for us. And so,
Can I just say something before you turn it over to
Yeah.
Jonathan?
the quorum is present, and then yes.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to say I appreciate y'all's patience with this. I understand it's been going on a while. It's been very frustrating to me too. I thought it was important to stay local, especially the nature of the seal. So we did that, and because of that company was able to put us in touch with Jonathan. And so, just, I don't know, man, it's kind of meant to be, but I'm sorry it's taken a while. But please, I wasn't trying to hold anything back, or I wasn't that I was being slack and not looking after stuff. I made contacts, and it was just the way it worked out. So with that being said, I apologize, but thank you for your patience. But I think it's worked out very well that we've got a local person that is going to assist us with this process.
So won't be able to
No. But John, I don't know if you don't mind sharing a little bit about what you said to me about putting local businesses, maybe national brands, kind of staying away from that kind of stuff, just so everybody can kind of.
Well, I'll give you all a little bit of my background first. So, I grew up, I have my parents and two sisters. I went to Cooper's, we lived there on 97, and I went to Cooper's Elementary, then I was homeschooled. And then after I graduated high school, I tried, I was young, tried the college thing. I didn't really like school that much, but I've always liked art, and I started doing art when I was a kid. And in my teenage rebellious years, I kind of dropped it, and I worked for the County of Wilson, building maintenance and doing construction and stuff like that. And then in 2013, I got hurt on the job, and I had a hip surgery, pretty major hip surgery. So I was out, and while I was out, I picked up art again. And then when I went back to work, got hurt again, went right back in, had surgery on the same hip again. And so for like 3 years, I went through this, and then I got put into like a sedentary job, didn't really care for it that much. And I was doing the art on the side, and I was like, man, I need to, I met my wife. We hadn't got married yet. We had been dating. I was like, and if something would have happened to her, I couldn't take care of her on the salary I was making. So I was trying to figure out how I could do this art stuff, make some extra side money. And I started drawing wildlife stuff, like portraits, kind of fine art type stuff. And then people started asking for portraits, pet portraits, all this stuff. And then people started asking for apparel designs. And I was like, man, I don't know anything about that. So I ended up teaching myself all the software. And that was 9 years ago when I started. And now I'm the lead illustrator for $1 billion coffee company. So I always try to promote, obviously in this country you can become whatever you want to be as long as you. Now I'm not saying I didn't work hard. I ended up leaving Wilson. I was working as an inspection over here at DOT right here down here. I was there, worked with David Rackley. I worked under him for a couple of years, and then I was doing the art when I got home from that until midnight every night. And then I left there and joined Black Rifle Coffee. And then of course I freelance for all kinds of people, NFL players. I don't know if y'all know Joe Rogan. He's a podcaster. I've done work for him. Like I do a lot of work for a lot of people, a lot of veteran. I wanted to work in the veteran community because my grandfather was in Vietnam, my dad was in the Army. I couldn't get in the military because ironically I have terrible eyesight. So when I went for my MEPS, I didn't pass my eye exam. But done a lot of stuff locally. So I kind of jumped at the opportunity to be able to work, with Momar because I spend a lot of time here. So I also brought, these are some of the coffee bags I've done this year, and I didn't know how many people are going to be here, but y'all can fight amongst yourselves about who gets what. That was one for the Marine birthday.
You did the artwork?
I did the whole bag design. hand drawn art. This was one we just came out with. Y'all remember the Saturday Evening Post? So I designed this bag based around that. So kind of a coffee. And then there's a one kind of a jab at throwing the tea in the harbor. And then we do these little recipe cards that go with that bag. It tells you where the coffee comes from, what it tastes like, and all that stuff. So this is kind of what I do all day. But y'all can have those bags if y'all want to leave them here or take them home. Those come in a subscription we do every month. They're about $30 a bag. So people who pay for that subscription are huge coffee nuts, as you can imagine. So
Ronnie would have probably loved it.
Yeah.
but they're it's a lot of fun. I get to do what I love to do for a job. So
I know if you've ever watched Fox News, they promote Rifle Coffee
yeah.
pretty heavily. So.
Yeah, we got some friends over there. Pete
Sounds expensive for coffee.
Well, that's the high. That's like
High-end.
the premium high-end
yeah.
stuff. Now we sell it at Walmart and Food Line. I mean, it's
Right,
just
yeah.
basic, basic.
Right.
Well, don't they donate so much to,
Yeah, we do a lot. So we just did a campaign with another company called Born Primitive.
right,
It's called Debt of Gratitude. So it was us, Born Primitive, and then we work with the with a foundation called Debt of Gratitude, and we paid off $35 million in medical debt of either retired military or their spouses.
right, yeah.
So that was like a big deal, and that's why I decided that I wanted to work with companies like this because
Right, yeah.
if I couldn't serve, I wanted to be able to help those who did, kind of pay back. So,
In your own way.
so
Yeah, they've been on Fox and Friends and all.
yeah, Katie Pavlich,
Mhm.
she's a good friend of mine.
Right.
Yeah, we've been friends for a good while. So, and then Pete Exeth, who used to be on Fox,
Right.
I'm getting ready to start working on a bag for him for the Department of War.
Oh,
So that's I'm really excited about putting a feather in my hat for that one. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
He's a go-getter.
So, as far as the logo, I know I didn't get like a ton of details outside of what you sent me, the email, and I know you wanted to talk about adding, when you think about like a logo, there's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of what I see most of the time is a lot of people want to add a lot of things in a small area, and usually it's a good idea in your head, but
It
when
gets
you
busy.
you have to think where is this logo going to be seen most? On a sign, probably outside of town, right? People driving 60 miles an hour. How many seconds do they got to see it before they pass it? A few seconds. So you want people to be able to see it, comprehend what it is, and enjoy it, right?
Well, that's like this, for example. I like all that represents, but personally, I think it's too much,
It's
too
too much.
busy,
That's right,
and
yeah.
you're not going to recognize any one thing.
Yeah, and it's hard, right? Because
You want to get the point across.
yeah, everybody likes everything, and there's a lot of cool things about the town. Like when you talk about Montgomery, most people think of Bass Brothers, right?
Yeah.
But also the problem with that is you have the Bass Brothers represents something that the community as a whole loves, but you don't want to show favoritism to, and that's what we were talking about, like businesses. Like I know it's a big part of Montgomery, but there's other things that you can do to represent the whole community
Right.
together and do it simple. So, if,
Maybe like what kept them busy, farmers and agriculture
Right.
and
and like when I think of
Logging.
Montgomery, I would say one of the biggest things to me is the logging, the training, and the farming. Like that's,
Bingo.
I mean,
Well, you nailed
ultimately, everybody lives near a farm, people's family own farms, people have woods all around their house, so it's something that everybody can relate to, and, but, yeah.
I would love to see something with the train and the bill
Well, I'm gonna show you something in a minute.
in there.
Yeah, I went on and kind of worked up some concepts. I'll show you. I kind of, who did this stuff? Was this something?
The community.
community.
local artists.
Yeah, this was an idea I ran with. I like this idea, and also too when you're designing, I'm designing mainly for a sign, right? Because that's going to be what the public sees the most. But also you want, when I design stuff, I want people to have the option to do other things like make hats, make shirts. Maybe the town buys a work truck and you can put something on a work truck, letterheads, business cards.
I went to a Spring Hope Town Board meeting, and they've got the seal over behind the commissioners,
Mm-hmm.
big round, and it really looked nice.
Yeah. So I went through this, and then I came up with some concepts. But did y'all have any other questions or answers?
It was on
Mm-hmm.
the Spring Hope seal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm more saying where they had it presented was nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice.
And it's up behind where the mayor and town council sit.
Mm-hmm. You have any questions? What's some of the things y'all would like to see? Like,
You've named my top three.
yeah. Are y'all all kind of in the same boat with what you like and what you don't like?
I
Yeah,
think so.
I would like to have some, kind of like you were talking about, my first initial thought of a town seal is kind of a formal, maybe something that would go on letterhead, like you're talking about it, if we did a sign, if we did the thing behind where we meet.
Yeah.
But I liked your idea of maybe incorporating others, like
Yeah.
you talked about, maybe having some other things for hats.
Yeah.
Maybe gear.
And then there's, and what I kind of worked up is more of it can be used as a town seal. It's not so much a seal like a typical seal that you think of, like,
Official seal.
yeah, it's not what I worked up, and that I can do that, but that's not exactly what I worked. I worked up more of a logo for the,
Right.
Okay.
and
Full seal.
yeah, use as a seal. It's basically the same thing. It's just a seal. It can be used officially. It's just, I don't know if, I guess people still make seals, but it's hard. Like a seal is more like this, like it's got all these little emblems and all this stuff. It's almost kind of military, really. But it's hard to translate that into other things because it gets real muddy.
Jonathan, look at his hair, man. I'm coming from old school.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking, I'm not saying it's correct. I was just saying that's kind of my concept in
Yeah.
my head.
Yeah.
But I'm stuck in a.
No, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it can be done. It would just need to be simplified a little bit because you have to think a lot of times when these seals were made, they didn't have computers and they weren't printing on
Right.
paper. It wasn't.
Yeah.
They weren't trying to move the stuff, and most of the time the mess was hand painted on something or etched. They did like etchings and then have a copper plate, etch it, roll ink on it, and stamp it.
Correct.
But this day and time, you want something that can be used on social websites. Like if you have a little bitty seal with all this little details and stuff in it, it's hard to you want something you can use in all different ways, and that's what I found with the years I've been doing this is, you make something that can be used in all avenues, right? So
Awesome.
I'll show you guys what I worked up, and then, like I said, this is just concepts and showing, what it could look like. I did 2 different versions, but.
And Jonathan has done this in a short period of time because.
So
Sounds like he's a busy guy
he had
anyway.
plans.
I didn't know what year it was established. There was 3 different pictures with 3 different years, so I wasn't sure, so I just put 1900 on there. So I kind of ran with the train idea. This was the first one I worked up, and I hand draw this and then lay it out in another software, but,
Well, if nothing else, you're a good artist.
well, thank you.
That
So,
gives the train, that gives Momar established a date, North Carolina, welcome to Momar. Got the logs.
I've actually got some of the real pictures of the real train.
really,
Mm-hmm.
that's cool.
Okay.
There's that one, and then I went more of a generic approach for just a tree, because there's a lot of beautiful trees around here. Representing the town as a whole. That's why I chose like a big tree with
So is
farmland.
it the norm to put like, the town of Momar? You see a lot of.
Is that what it's called?
Well, I mean, I've seen some on the
Is it Momar or is it the town? Like that would really be a personal opinion
Right.
or a personal decision on y'all's part. If y'all wanted to
like
include the town.
Nashville, I think they got town of Momar. I mean, town of Nashville.
Yeah, and you could do like a secondary copy, like up here above it, like the town,
Right.
like above
Smaller
it or
print.
something. Yeah, smaller print. Like you don't want it to dominate the
Right.
town of Momar. You know, you could do like, yeah, you could definitely add something little.
What
up
I
there.
was asking you, is that the norm on stuff like this, or in your opinion?
I don't know really.
Okay.
I hadn't really.
Tit for
I hadn't
tat.
done a lot of town seals, so
Okay.
most of that stuff's done a long time ago and like that. But I think that would probably be a decision on y'all's part. If you want people to, I think probably adding it very small, like italicized or something
Right,
above
yeah.
it would be
Yeah.
okay. You probably won't see it going down the road.
Right.
Ultimately when you search Momar, it's just gonna say
I think
Momar.
Nashville has it, but Spring Oak does not.
Yeah,
They just got Spring Oak, North Carolina,
yeah. I think it could go either way. It's really y'all's.
honoring the
What y'all wanna do.
past, building the future.
Mhm.
Is what they got on there.
So these are two that I worked up, and then I mocked up like what it looked like on the side of the road.
Oh man, that looks good.
And this is the great thing about AI now. I can really mock up stuff good. I don't have to physically go out and take a photo of the road and then
Right.
Photoshop it in. It's pretty quick. So I thought that looked pretty cool. I mean, it's nice, clean.
Of the two, that's my favorite.
Yeah, and then I didn't do any mock-ups of so this is like above the. Well, let me show you this picture. It's funny you said something about the city council. I mocked it up behind like a chamber
Yeah, that's
on the
how
wall
Spring Oak's got.
or whatever. It's kind of big, but it kind of gives you an idea of what it may look like on a wall.
Well, we could put it
We
behind
gotta
the
build a
door.
bigger wall.
And then I
Close
did.
in the door.
I mocked it up on
Take
a.
that wall out.
But then you have to move that over there and put it there, or put the,
Yeah.
Yeah, if y'all set your table facing this way, you can put it on that wall,
That's good too, man.
like on a shirt.
Did you bring me a shirt?
I mean, if you can figure out how to take it out of that screen, wear it. And then like another.
So that's AI.
Yeah, it's getting good. It's getting good. I started.
That's above my pay grade.
I use it for stuff like this. It still can't. A lot of people's asking me if they worry it's going to take my job. I think some people, it could take some, or it could potentially cost me some clients, but ultimately, y'all know who Van Gogh is, the painter,
right,
or Michelangelo, the sculptor.
right, yeah.
If someone brought in a painting by Van Gogh, it was painted by Van Gogh, and then they brought in a replica done by AI that looks identical, which one are they gonna buy?
Cheaper one.
Well,
No, not
Well, it
necessarily.
depends on what they're after.
They're gonna
Money
pay-
is
they're-
no option.
they're gonna pay-
they're gonna pay
buy
for the real one
real one,
because
yeah,
it's got soul and somebody's hands did it, right?
right, right.
There's no value in somebody going in there and typing something and it
No.
coming up.
Well, for art purposes.
But that's
yeah.
people who are serious. Like I've already seen brands that I've done work with in the past already using AI to make shirts, and they get a lot of negative flack because the public ultimately everything's fake now, right?
Right, yeah,
You don't know what's
You don't know what to believe. You don't know who's telling truth or a lie.
right.
And the last thing people want to wear is a lie because they
Right.
hear it all day long. So
Yeah.
I think there'll be a pretty rebellious attitude when it comes to it. It's great. It's another tool that should be and can be utilized, especially for stuff like this. Like in the past, it would take me 30 minutes to mock up something like that. Now I can do it in like 5 seconds. So,
Amazing.
it's good for some things. And then I just did like on the side of the truck door, but just so you know. But that's kind of what I worked up. This is, by no means, if you like it and you want to change some things, which one do you want to see?
It just, maybe the wall one.
Okay.
Of the train.
Um,
That was it.
if, tweaks can be made, things can be added. If you don't like any of them, we can discuss. Another thing too is
Yeah,
I
I
had
see that.
asked Keeper, I didn't know what y'all's budget was.
Yeah, I like that.
Or, if y'all had a
And
budget
train
or,
does mean a lot to Lomar, because
timelines, I know you had
saw a
said.
guy one day and he said, oh, we used to ride
Maybe
there
next
and see
year
if
or
we could see the
by the
ghost.
end of the year.
Yeah.
Train.
I think we'd like to definitely probably roll something
And that's
in
why people
July.
know, think about
I mean,
Lomar.
at the town, before I don't know if we got a timeline, but I definitely like to have it done before we have the Lomar get together again.
Right.
In the
Well,
Maybe
ultimately,
have a presentation.
yeah, ultimately, I mean, I'm pretty fast. That's why I make good money, because I'm fast. Because I can turn stuff around. But ultimately, if you're talking about July, if you have that type of timeline, that's going to be ultimately whenever y'all want to do it. Because this is something that I could have done by the end of the year, probably 1st of January. It all depends on revisions and what y'all want to do, and it's totally up to y'all. However many you want to do, it's just.
Black and white.
You can have cut. So let me talk about what you'll get when it's finished. So when I do the file, we agree and we sign off on the design. It's not just going to be this. I told him that I would also do probably something that says, maybe the town of Momire without the art, just the copy. So you'll just have. You'll have multiple things. It's kind of like a design package that you can use. Something you can use, like, I don't think y'all have a website or anything, do you? I try to go online and look up information. There's not a lot of information on Momire online, but if you were to ever create a website for community events or, whatever, and I would suggest doing that, even social media, Facebook page or something you can use as like a header on the website or whatever. Let's say we went with the train. I would do another version to simplify it down. Maybe it's just a silhouette without all the detail, where you could do stitch hats, or you can make, some sort of stamp. Like if you want to make anything really.
But if you were gonna put it on a t-shirt, what would it be?
That would be up to y'all. So that comes to cost on y'all's part. So if you wanted to do, this logo on a white t-shirt, you could print a single color black on there. I'll give you a full color version. So I will go in
Maybe
here.
we could get it to a printer or
Mhm.
t-shirt
Yeah.
printer.
Yeah, there's plenty of people. Yeah, there's
Key
plenty.
Printing does that.
Yeah, you could do that. As far as printing full color, like full color shirt, all that colored in would be really nice. You can blue sky, green, and I don't know what y'all's town colors are if you have town colors, but ultimately when it comes to printing on shirts, you're going to be paying the printer
Per
per
color.
color with screen printing. So most people, when it comes to screen printing stuff, most people try to keep it below 5 colors. So I would probably do something where it was.
Well,
Maybe
even
3 or
if,
4
that
colors.
would look good on a white t-shirt.
Yeah. And then another file that I make is a reverse. So if you were to take the black line off, this is one that doesn't have all the information, but if you were to take this black line art, I'll add a color. So this is like, you imagine this blue is a t-shirt. If you were to color this white, or I'll tell you what, let's say we were doing it on a dark gray shirt, and you were to color this white, See how bad that looks?
Yeah.
It looks like a negative image, right? You know, when you take a picture. So I created,
Blends in.
I created another file that it's kind of what I call like a cookie cutter. So I feel the object behind the art, the line art, the design, and then I clip it out. And so it takes everything that's around the black and makes it the color. So it's almost like a field. And so I make a file specifically for printing the design on dark colors. So if you had a black t-shirt or a black hoodie or a black hat, that file is designed to be printed on that. And that could be any color. It could be tan ink on a dark brown shirt or light green ink on a dark green shirt, right? And then you have another file that's meant to be used for, dark ink on a light shirt, black on white, dark blue on baby blue. A lot of companies or designers don't do this because they don't know how and they don't think about it. And I realized I had to fix this when I first started because I would do these designs and I spent all this time and then a company would go and print it like this and I'm like, man, it makes my work look like trash and it would look bad on me. And I was like, I got to figure out how to fix it. So I figured out how to fix it. But
So if we wanted hats or shirts in the future, regardless of the design, you just supply the artwork for the printer.
That comes with the package.
yeah, that'll come with the package.
Okay.
Yep.
I think what he's gonna.
Yeah, you'll probably get, I don't know how many files, it really depends on what you need, but like the design, the file that you would use to print a big seal for the wall is the same file you're going to use to do sign at the road, the same file you would use to print your shirts because it's what they call vector file. It's the lines I run it through a program where it mathematically draws it. And so right now, the way I draw it is called a rasterized image. It's pixels. So if you zoom in, it's little bitty pixels. You can print that on. That's good for paper, stickers, anything like that. But when you're stuff like screen printing, printing vinyl, stuff like that, you need to have a mathematically drawn image so they can scale it and all that stuff. So when you have a vector file, you could blow up that image and cover the whole side of Bass Brothers building down there, and it's gonna be clean as a razor blade because if you could print it on the moon, it's funny, but you could blow it up. It's infinity because it's mathematical. And so I would have you some transparent PNG images which you could use for like watermarks. You put it on the back, like here, you could watermark it in the background, real light gray or something. You put it on business cards, whatever. Then, have some files for social media if you create social media. And you have your print files. And then I would create some other simplified version of the logo that you could use for like a stitch hat or something, where it's, because a stitch hat's not going to stitch all those little details. Some sort of simplified version. And then maybe a couple files with just basic Town of Momire in the same copy. Maybe this one says Town of Momire, established here. Momire, welcome to Momire. Something that you like. And of course, in the future, if you find something else you need, I can always edit. Stuff like that.
We definitely want to do a coffee mug just to honor Jonathan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, the biggest hurdle is just agreeing on
We could
what
have
you want first, and then.
T-shirts and hats and coffee mugs in the sale.
I would love a Town of Momire hat. I'm sure there's a lot of how many hunters you got around here? Make you a blaze orange Momire? Oh man. Yeah, boy, people love that stuff.
My hunting club.
Yeah.
That's it, the graphics have been asking for.
Yep.
Did y'all have a budget?
We do not have an established budget.
Alright.
I'll let the mayor speak to the financial.
I think it would probably be helpful to have an idea where we're starting from.
Okay.
And then
What what do you offer?
The folks sitting at the table here get to make that call, so.
Generally, something like this with all the files, I mean, it can, depending on if y'all have revisions, how many changes you wanna make, exactly what you need. I mean, generally it runs between $2,000 and $4,000. So, that's, typically, if I do, so any design I do, if I do one, like this is a design I just did for a company. This is going on a t-shirt. Y'all know who the Swamp Fox is? Francis Marion.
Yep, yeah.
These are some Ranger guys who retired military. They got a company.
Oh,
This is the type of stuff that,
yeah.
like, utilizing animals, like a lot of people,
Right.
that's kind of what I got known for. Like something like this is $1,500. Like my starting price on anything is $1,000, and that's something that I've worked up for years. But I've also realized, like, I'm good at what I do. I work really hard to get where I am, and I have 2 new children. I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Oh, great.
And so now my time, like back before I had kids, I was working 15, 16 hours a day. Now my time is more precious and more
Right.
valuable. So,
Definitely.
and I would say they're between 2,000 and 4,000, and that's just, I'm giving you kind of a wide spread because I don't know exactly, we don't know exactly what y'all want. Y'all didn't say, yeah, we're gonna use that. So, depending on the back and forth, there's a lot of heads here. And so that can also complicate things. I'm just being honest, it complicates because everybody has different opinions. So that's just kind of like a buffer zone. But I will say, I love Momire and I love the community. That's like a discount. Typically, I would do just 5 to 6, 7,000.
If,
So
and I can't recall the picture we've got of the original train, if it had a number on it,
yeah, that's
You could add
yeah.
that.
You got a little. What I call those Easter eggs. So people who know, and they say, well, why they got number 14 on it? Well, and then that's a cool thing about designs is in all my bags. Let's see. Let me see that Christmas morning one. All my bags. I didn't really bring a good one. I hide
I think of
personal stuff.
my dad was a Marine, so I think
Really?
the Marine one's nice.
Yeah, that was pretty. All my bags I do. I hide personal stuff. Life, my children's initials. I do it in everything
within the
because
artwork.
within my artwork, and 99.99% of people will never know, but I do. And to me, because my children and my family are most important to me, that's why I put it in there. So like I got my name right there, but that's not really a good example. I don't really have a good bag. Oh yeah, here we go. So.
He knows where they're at, don't he?
Right here, Grizzly.
Alright.
It's really hard to see. Most people wouldn't see it. There's a bunch of names on these cannonballs. These are the other guys that I work with in my department.
I see it.
And then we have a guy that we work with. He was a Marine, and I hid his platoon name and number over here on this top. And Clint Trial. This is a guy who works for us. He was a Marine Raider, and then he worked with an agency. In 2019, he stepped on a pressure plate ID and lost both of his legs. And President Trump came and visited him, gave him a Purple Heart in the hospital. And so probably one of the coolest guys I've ever met. He lives in Texas. But anyway, so I honored him by putting him on the bag. But yeah, I like hiding stuff, and to me, it makes a design more personal. So if you were to add something like a number on a train, or there was, whoever, if
I
there's a
wasn't
single,
necessarily about hiding it, I want them to see it.
yeah. Well, I mean, when I say hiding, I mean, yeah, you see it, but the general population is not, they're just gonna look at a number.
Right, yeah.
But like if there was somebody y'all wanted to honor, I'm really big about honoring people. Like if there was I know we talked about businesses, but if there was a specific person who was a key figure in, starting Momire, on the train, you could put their initials somewhere. Like, you could hide it up here on the front of the car or down, something like that. And that stuff makes it special because it's like one of those things where somebody will say, what's that? GH stand for?
Right.
And you get to tell them a story, and it becomes a personal
Right,
thing. And I do that with apparel designs and stuff too, where you don't want to unwrap the whole gift right out in the open, right? You want to leave a little curiosity, and someone says, "Hey man, I like that shirt. Where'd you get that shirt, and what does that mean?" And then you have a conversation, and and it helps too with more so with like companies, because basically anything you sell as a shirt or a hat, it's advertising, and you make people like curious things, and so yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff. We want to see it kind of look like that.
Yeah, I was just gonna shrink it. This is real nitpicky. I'm
No,
thinking
no,
out
it's
loud. I
fine.
mean, man,
Y'all, the folks that I've worked for in the past, y'all. I mean,
we got the train, we got the logs. I was just saying over here, if we like had a farmer with a plow, I mean, to add the farming element to it, that may
yeah, you make
distract
it.
from.
You make it squeeze a little guy in here, and it's something where I could.
Like with a mule and a hand plow.
I mean, just
Yeah, like I could go in here, and I could shift this over a little bit,
Make
this-
room for it.
make room for it, and just do like a little, it'd be like a
might
silhouette
be
kind
kind
of.
of cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you can do it.
Richard, you impressed me.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah, you can do that. I think ultimately, what y'all would need to do is, and I'm sorry, I was gonna bring printed copies of this, and I can email it to you. Don't print them out. My printer is not. I don't know what's going on with it at the house. But I think if you figure out 80% of it, like you say, we like to train, but we would like to change or add some stuff. That will be a good. I'm not saying you have to do. I'm just saying that's where you need to get, and then you figure out little detailed stuff.
Okay.
Like I think it's a great idea. You can do it. There's room there.
I like Richard's idea. It's just a matter of placement is your job, I guess.
Yeah. And I'll be, if I don't, as a designer, I mean, ultimately it's business to me, and if I don't disagree with people sometimes, then I'm not a professional, right? If I'm a yes man, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. So if you like, you say, if you wanna go in here and
It's just
say,
a bad idea you're gonna tell us.
I'm gonna tell you, and I'm doing it in a professional
appreciate
manner,
that.
right?
Yeah.
I weigh the options, like, that seal that y'all had. I mean, like I would be like hard no on that.
Right.
Like I love the idea. It's just
I love
like,
the content, like I said earlier, but it's too much.
Sharksburg did something like this. Have you ever seen
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
It's one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. in my
It's
life.
too busy.
And
Yeah.
the only reason I know so much about it is because they did it when I was a teenager down there working, and we were just like, what? in the
I
world?
think Nashville's got the courthouse in the center of theirs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
With the big white columns.
And I kind of like the train. That's like a
It's different.
well, it's different, and two, with everything going on around the train stuff around Nashville, it kind of helps tie in a little bit, and it's kind of like a popular subject right now with, and I guess the logging stuff, from what I've noticed over the years, is really kicked back up again. I mean, I used to hunt over there, and all of a sudden,
We actually
the past
still
couple
got
of
train
years,
track here.
yeah, the past couple of years, it's like, I mean, it's cool. It's a cool little thing. You don't see that a lot. Big train,
They do a
logging,
lot of
loading, and all that
One
stuff.
of my
so-
favorite things here is to hear the train with the
Yeah.
whistle come through.
Mm.
You don't hear them often, but just
And then, of course, if you did the tree, you got plenty of room to do a big plow. Like you could do
but I like the train better.
yeah, I like the tree. That was
Yeah.
why I mocked that.
Yeah, I don't want to mess it up, but I was just saying that third element, if we could
that would
just
hit
put a
all
little.
the points we would.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good idea, Richard.
Excellent.
If he can work it in.
Yeah, I could work that in.
Has everybody heard enough, or?
I have.
I would just thank you for what you've already done. We will certainly,
So the quote is what you've already done to the finish, probably.
I mean, if y'all were to say no, I mean, I'm not gonna charge you for what I did, cause I kinda just went on and did it, cause I wanted
I
to.
don't think we're gonna say no.
Well, I wanted to go ahead and, have something ready because, look, I'm into art. Ultimately, everything I do is to make other people happy and excited, right? So if I were to walk in here and I hadn't done anything, to me, that says I'm not really serious. I mean,
Got to start somewhere.
when we talked on the phone, I had already started working. I didn't tell you because I wanted to be a surprise, but I had already started working on it. When you see me that email, I started working on it. I mean, it wasn't that day, but you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because, I mean, it's my community too. I mean, I get excited about it and,
well, I am personally, and I know we are as a group. Thank you.
Yes.
We're excited to have you.
Yeah.
Look forward to
You
where
know,
it goes.
and I think what you were saying about the man plowing
Mhm.
was not with a tractor, but with a hand plow
Right,
on a mule.
I just kind of think of that's,
Yeah.
I grew up when you still
Yeah,
did that in
sure.
your garden,
Right,
stuff, so that would go back kind of the
Well,
the
when I
same
lived
era as the trailer and the
Between
logs.
Santa Claus and Nashville,
Yep.
the farmers there used mules and plows. And they never got tractors yet. Well, so I'm 75 years old, so you know it was 70 years ago.
well, there's a big part of me that I wish I was 75 to experience a lot of that. Because, look, I mean, I love my life and I like technology.
No, you
Well, I'm sure y'all could, look, my grandma, she passed away a couple years ago. She was 99. And she saw a lot of change.
Oh, yes, that's it.
Yes.
And,
In her life.
for somebody like that to say, before she passed, where politics and the culture is worse now than it's ever been, and she went through civil rights and
Oh, yeah.
wars.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
saying a lot.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I feel like I'm grateful to be alive this time. We see some crazy stuff, like
Right.
cool stuff, like
Yeah.
I mean, every day my mind's blown, but also there's a lot of unknowns, and I worry about my children's future.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure every parent has at some point,
Yeah.
but I think even in the past couple of years, it's way, kind of after COVID, when COVID started, I was like,
Well, they say
I
now
wanna be
that
like this.
our generation is the last one that experienced sort of old school versus
Yeah.
technology.
Because we didn't have the computers and
Yeah.
all the
And I think
stuff that we have now.
as much as, I'm kind of weird, I hunt, but I love animals, and people who hunt understand that concept of
Right,
loving something,
yeah,
being able to
yeah.
take something's life at the
Yeah.
same time. But I understand, like, I use this stuff every day, all day, but I hate it too, because, like, our kids, my son, he ain't got no tablet. He watches TV like once a week. We're very old school in that nature.
Yeah,
And I really think that it's going to ruin this country, to be honest. I mean, especially with the AI stuff, people are already don't believe a single thing they see or hear, and it ain't even started.
right.
There's going to be some rough
Tip of the
times,
iceberg.
ahead, and I'm pretty sure before I get older that we'll probably see a lot of technological, physical enhancements of people input like that. People saying, it sounds like a sci-fi movie, but it's very, very
Oh, yeah.
close. Very, very transhumanism is what I call it. Very close. So I like my garden and my chickens. And
Yeah.
I'm not too excited about all these housing developments they're putting up.
Where do you live at?
You know where Universal, 58, the water tower, Universal Leaf?
Mm-hmm.
I live right beside the water tower,
Oh, okay.
right across from
Alright.
Wayne Taylor.
Okay.
Right across from Wayne.
Mm-hmm. He's pastored right in front of me.
He's a good friend of mine.
He's a great guy. He looks out for my place when we're out of town, and I look out for his. So,
That's what neighbors are for.
yeah. And then Miss Bolden lives beside me. She's older. I help her out when she needs help. But she had a dead deer in the yard. the other
So
day.
you were raised in the Coopers area?
I was raised over near Jack's Grocery,
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
over in that area. Yeah. So my dad, he He was a mechanic on buses for the school system in Nashville for years, and then he went to the city of Rocky Mount. He just retired in October. And then my mom, she teaches at New Life. Teacher.
Cool. Well, Jonathan, thank you.
Yes.
No problem.
Thank you for
My
coming.
pleasure.
this
Thank
morning.
you for,
I like what you've got done so far.
Right.
thanks.
So your professionalism
We'll be
and
in
your
touch.
talent.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Well, I aim to do.
we'll deliberate.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's nice to meet you.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet y'all too.
Thank you.
You too. Nice to meet you. Y'all enjoy that coffee.
We will.
And I want the one with the Marines on it, because that was my dad.
Yeah, that was a nice, the military, we did a Navy one too, and they were the top bags of the year. People really like those. So, that's some good stuff. And on that card, for that, whoever takes that Christmas morning, you take that one and it'll tell you where to, like this one's got tasting notes of cherry, sugar cane, and floral, but
Are all of them the same product?
no, they're all different.
Okay.
Yep, they're all different coffees.
They tweak the flavor.
Well, they come from different regions. Like, this coffee came from Panama. So we got like the coffee we're doing next month is from Guatemala. Like, they come
Right.
from all
Oh,
over
so
the
you
place.
do all different brands, you design different.
Yeah, well, you know,
brands,
coffee
brands.
is not grown in America.
Yeah,
It's
No,
made
no.
everything south of the equator. Hawaii has Kona coffee, but if we were to take every bean off that island, it wouldn't be enough for how much we sell. So we source stuff, and tariffs have kicked our butt this year. It's one of the
Oh,
highest
yeah.
tariff items. Like, I think
That's
our
it.
cost, the first quarter of the year, it cost us $20 million more to purchase coffee.
I can believe that, because if you look at the price of coffee in the grocery store, you know that.
And we kept our prices. We didn't change prices until September.
Uh,
And we only went up $1. We lost a lot of money to keep customers happy and
yeah.
stuff.
yeah.
But
We had a former town councilman that, he liked that thick coffee.
mhm.
You stick your spoon in it and you about to stand up.
Oh yeah, nailed it.
But it was strong.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like mine black. I don't put anything in it. I like to drink it.
It's a little pod.
I
that-
just
that
started
hurts you.
drinking coffee the last year of my life, so
It's an acquired taste. I mean,
well, I used the bitterness after, the aftertaste what I didn't like.
yeah,
And some's worse than
it
others.
gives you heartburn too. You look out.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Okay. All right.
Thank
We
you.
look forward to hearing from y'all. Y'all have a good weekend, and if I don't see you again, y'all have a good Christmas.
You'll be hearing from us.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's impressive.
And his timing's actually great.
Yeah.
But, you know, I know, Richard, you felt like it dragged and all that, but the timing's actually great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, I've known stuff like that to take a lot longer.
exactly. And it lands at a time where we have a better idea what the fiscal year looks like. And also, January is a time where we can, adjust budget numbers if we want to.
Right.
So, you know, that is why we're still sitting here, is to
Yeah.
discuss whether that's what we wanna go ahead and do. Sheila did say we just got in October's sales tax, which is another $8,000.
Almost nine.
Almost 9. September's came in about that number as well. So like we were talking last month, that we're probably gonna be throwing $30,000 in the bank by the end of the year. About right. And that is,
So where we
that will
stand,
put us, sorry Edward, that will put us real close to what our total year sales tax number is budgeted to be.
Right.
Go ahead.
so where we stand with him, he's gonna wait to us to go forward, for word from us to go forward.
I like what he came up with, and I like your idea of trying to find the number on the train too. I think that'd be
Right.
cool.
And I need to go eyeball it, but I'm gonna do that. If everybody's in agreement, I'll make a motion, we go forward. And I really like what Richard added to the train emblem. That sort of ties the agricultural, we did logging all together,
Right.
but not a tractor, on a mule.
Right,
I
yeah.
I think that's what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, that fits, that's why I said that.
Yeah.
The hand plow,
No, hand
not
plow.
a-
One
not a
pile
tractor.
new, yeah.
So, yeah, but I didn't know how much you could get in there.
I think t-shirts would be a wonderful thing for the town of Longmont.
So too. Yep. And
Bass
that-
Brothers used to have them, I think they just did them on their own.
Yeah,
In matter of fact, Bass Brothers and Bass Oil Company, before we were incorporated, used to have town tags. Matter of fact, I got a bunch of them out of this building that John Winter was gonna throw away from the fifties. And if that had been my daddy's, there ain't no amount of money could have bought them. And I got them displayed right now. So it's,
you know, put a flag on the flagpole if we want to. There's so many things that can be done with it,
right.
you know, both official and promotional, so.
have decals. I'll make a motion, we go forward.
With the motion, if we're adding a line item to the budget, we need to make sure we put that in there. In the actual motion.
Okay.
So, what works best for I mean, is it better that we wait and do it in the next fiscal year? Or, I mean, it sounds like we need to go ahead and use.
We have the funds to do it. Income is grossly outpacing outgo right now.
Okay.
Is it gonna be a problem trying to add it this, close to the end of the year?
No, because January is the time where we can
Okay.
actually adjust the physical budget.
Well,
And
with
it's
that
the one
motion,
chance to do that.
all right, so with that motion, I'll add, do we add a line item for this project? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, in the amount of, we wanna do the top end of what he says,
Not to exceed
4,000, or do we
4,000.
wanna add a little bit to buy the first round of t-shirts or whatever? How do,
Is that, I like that idea, but does that need to be a separate line item for t-shirts
we have
versus the
a,
seal?
we have a promotional item, and if, don't we have a promotional line, or do we not? We could just add a promotional line that would incorporate the seal and then whatever we were putting into it. Whatever.
I didn't know
we use
you
it
wanted
for.
that separate t-shirt, separate from the seal project.
It's up to you guys, really.
It was better for us bookkeeping. Would it be better to have it separate or in one?
I don't know that it would make any difference.
Right.
I kind of think Evan's idea is good that we would separate
Okay.
personally, just so that, you know, people say, my goodness, look what they spent on a seal, and
Right, oh, that's true. You're right.
it may give a bad visual,
Right.
whereas we can say, well, you know, he's good, and he's quick, and, you know, I mean, whatever we need to say. But I think maybe the cleanest way to do it is to
I agree.
do the seal and then do the other separate.
So, the motion that we're looking for then is a motion to add a line item to the budget not to exceed $4,000 for the seal.
For the seal project.
Okay.
Now, the t-shirt, that's something we could probably wait on.
Yeah, I think so. We got, we'll have a meeting in January. That'll give us all time to think about it.
Of course, I'm ready for a t-shirt right now, but.
I understand. But could we add a promotional line?
We could add a promotional
Go ahead and
line.
do it and just use it when.
Right, exactly. Use it when
When
we decide to use
Right.
it. Just set the money aside is basically what we'd be doing.
So do we, well, I guess we need
So-
to handle this motion.
Let's do the first motion. And motion is, make sure I'm correct, because we kind of went back and forth with, to add a line item to the 2025-2026 budget. Excuse me, frog in my throat. for $4,000 for the seal project. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I'll second the motion.
Any further discussion on that item? All right, all in favor of adding the line item of $4,000 to the budget for the seal, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Then I will in turn, make a motion that we add a line item to include promotionals or promotional product. I don't know how you want to word it. Maybe just promotionals is enough.
I'll second.
Have a number?
An amount?
Yeah.
What y'all think?
Got a question about what he's thinking about that. Is this something that we could put the license plates in that line item two going forward when we
Yeah.
buy them? Cause that's sort
Yeah, I
of,
think that would definitely fall
Add
into it.
that
And that would, we're adding 2 line items, that would eliminate a line item in next year's budget for us too. And put it all
I
together.
sort of think that goes along in
Yeah,
that
all
same
for sure.
category.
Well, I think it needs to be a pretty good amount, because there's setup cost involved. If
The
we
first
do
time.
Screening
Yeah,
on, I
yeah.
mean, there's always, you know,
Right.
the cost of getting.
I've had t-shirts, when we get to this point, I guess we can get quotes. You know, or an example, but, Key Printing is, I've had some done at Key Printing and they did a fantastic job. They
They're
actually,
local too, so.
they actually did banners with seals on it
Mm-hmm.
and t-shirts and hats, but what I've had done. But we were very pleased.
And the last time I priced t-shirts, they were running, and again, you get volume discount, but
Yeah.
for a small number, it's like $25 a shirt right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's up there. But I know when you start getting into 100 or 200 or whatever, it drops fast.
I mean, we can discuss it, the number that pops in my mind is $5,000, if that's too much,
No, I don't think so.
I'll,
Well, it can always be adjusted.
And the number that we're coming up with right now is only a 6-month number, because we got a new budget, new line, so. And I think that number is a reasonable number, truthfully.
I do too.
That was the number that
You
popped
want to
in
add
my
that to your motion?
I will, $5,000.
So the motion is, did we get a second? Edward seconded.
Everything.
Okay.
I think you did.
Okay. So the motion is to add a promotional line item to the budget of the town of Momar for $5,000 for the purchase of promotional items to be determined later. Right. Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I think you picked a good
Well,
guy,
it,
especially in the creative aspect of it.
well, to give you the whole story, I had initially taken it to Keep Reading and discussed with Angie, and they were busy, and as we kind of talked about, you know, we're not a big customer, so I'm sure, but, you know, Angie was working on it, and she said nothing creative was coming. He, by divine providence or luck or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah, how'd you get in touch with him?
he was in there conducting business, and he said, well, that's what I do, I'll be glad to,
So that was just
if you want to give
fate.
me my name, just,
luck of the draw.
it
And
was,
that's a God answered
That's a
prayer.
blessing.
If he's a local person and he knows Momar,
That's right,
It
that's
just-
right, yeah.
it just fell into place and
It meant to be.
in a day,
Yeah.
and I went from being down in the dumps to elated.
Oh.
I'm just thankful
Yes, Richard.
it happened, I hope we'll be happy with the end
Oh, I
product.
think we
I
will.
think so. So we voted to add those line items to the budget. That's just like our May or late June vote to do our preliminary budget. So you'll see that again in January. It'll be finalized and voted on again in January, and that will then take the form of the amended budget ordinance.
Right.
So, okay. I think that was pretty, I'm excited. Glad we were able to get together and do it.
Good.
So I'm assuming Richard is gonna be in touch with him to get him to email us the pictures and everybody will get them and study them and y'all reconvene about what you want added or dismissed from it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna contact him and say, continue with the process, give us an updated version maybe. You know, it's when you have something.
Just clarify, so.
Right, yeah, I will, he's already texted, something, I think probably sent it to everybody to see what all. But yes, I will, see. Just let him, I guess let him know he's hired
Absolutely.
and, keep pursuing the project. But do you want me to tell him the expectation is before the end? I mean, I don't see that as being a deadline unless y'all do. I mean, if he wants to complete it by then, that's fine, but I don't want him to feel like.
Well, we'd have to meet again
Right.
Yeah.
To,
with your new suggestion.
so, just tell him we meet the second Monday of January.
Right, yeah.
At our regular meeting.
Could we possibly have, you know, an update?
Have
That gives him more time to get said.
Yeah.
Because the holidays are coming and
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
okay, I'll tell him that.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Well, it's all the business we had today.
We're gonna talk about this.
No, she said, we're gonna do that in January, right?
Okay.
Sure, in January, you look at it, and
Okay.
decide what you,
Decide
Which
what
one
your
you
favorite is.
and she said we'll do it at our January meeting.
Well, I will
I
go
can't
ahead,
read that one, but
I will go ahead and throw out, I want some bigger font.
we're gonna need a blueprint printer for that. Put that on a bigger, with a bigger font, I think, but,
Whichever one
So-
we go with, I need bigger numbers.
agreed. So that's all we got today, so,
Thank y'all for being willing to
Thank
come.
you
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
for your and Richard's input
Yeah.
in this project.
I told my friends at the senior center I'd be late today at volleyball. And I don't know if I'll participate, because I had that biopsy Wednesday, and it's still a little sore there, but I might try for a little while. I told them I'd be late today, so they wouldn't worry about it.
Who's getting coffee?
I'd take a motion to
I'm
adjourn.
getting this one right
I'll
here.
make a motion. we-
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned.
Y'all we got us a new car.
This is beans.
We
Good.
got a 2026 Camry.